Hi, I'm Karen Ziegler, design thinking consultant, and I help enterprise leaders revamp success using the innovative process of design thinking. I hope this finds you and yours healthy and well as we learn to maneuver this new normal the coronavirus is creating. The coronavirus or COVID is being touted as bringing death to millions, death to the economy, death to the world as we know it. And while death and the many fears it can conjure up is known to drive news ratings, one thing is for sure, it won't drive business. And that is, of course, unless you're looking to drive your business straight into the ground. So let's start by really putting COVID in a better context for enterprises, and especially a better context for enterprise innovation. To put simply, COVID is a magnifier of internal and external enterprise vulnerabilities. In these initial weeks of COVID, feelings of helplessness and overwhelm have overtaken most of us in some ways. We're human, and those feelings exist in each of us on some level. And the more time that we spend with our eyes glued to COVID as the magnifier, the more magnified the problems become. However, it is the courageous, the innovative leaders that shift their focus from the magnifier to the vulnerabilities. Namely, what are the vulnerabilities and how can we transform them into opportunities? For hidden in vulnerabilities lies our greatest opportunity. Often we think of vulnerabilities in terms of winning and losing. It's not the enterprise without vulnerabilities that wins, nor the one with the most vulnerability that loses. It is actually the enterprise that doesn't have the courage to face their vulnerabilities that ultimately loses the most. And I know if this video has caught your eye, that you're not a leader who runs away in a time of crisis. You understand that the greatest likelihood of surviving COVID and thriving is to understand the vulnerabilities, quickly identify the changes that have to be made, and quickly make them. In the simplest of terms, it's turning your Cants into cans. And from the executive level team down to the frontline clerk, it's really getting clear on all the Cants that the virus has imposed. Grab a pen and paper and list them out. List out everything the enterprise or your position did to be successful before COVID, but can no longer do. And then it's important to realize that this is the loss that it is. And with loss comes emotion, and that's okay. And it's important to acknowledge and accept those emotions. Ignoring them will only keep us stuck. An example on a personal level would be a veteran who's lost his legs at war. There is mourning of the loss and the healing. However, as he examines the things he can't do any longer, he begins to create new ways of doing things. He recognizes the things he can do. And through it all, especially, he focuses on doing the things that matter to him. And it's the same with the enterprise. COVID has thrown a bomb, literally, into the way that we conduct business. But once we've assessed the damage, stopped the bleeding, mourned the loss, we can move on and shift our eyes from the Cants into the cans. And so one way